welcome to Things That We Talk About. My name is Anef.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Jessica.
Yay! So today we have
would like to introduce it's more like a new thing that we're trying to do. It's called Hotcakes. Hotcakes.
Cakes.
So this is where we give our hot takes on today's news, on the hot issues, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes. Okay, and today what we're going to talk about is loosen SOP for a fully vaccinated individual, which I almost to say the word beloved, which our PM
just
announced.
Government.
Okay lah. Not our PM, our government just announced a few days ago. So let's talk about it.
So today we are recording on a Wednesday. So it's been a few days since they made the announcement, right? But I think, if I'm not mistaken, as of yesterday, the loosened SOPs will start for some people. Okay, first let's define who is considered fully vaccinated. Right. So are all three of us here, are we fully vaccinated yet?
No,
I'm not. Yeah.
No. So the criteria for fully vaccinated people is person who actually received the first dose and the second dose, and also have passed 14 days grace period of that second dose. So once you finish all that, once you fulfill these three criteria, then you're considered as a fully vaccinated person.
Yeah, and then we will get a digital certificate, right, in MySejahtera by right lah. So this digital cert is like our passport to go anywhere within Malaysia for those who can. So that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so how will this be implemented? For anyone who is fully vaccinated lah, first, interstate travel is only allowed for long distance married couples, right?
Yep.
And parents who have kids under 18 years old.
Yes.
Then you have the excuse to travel interstate, because some parents may have kids studying in like boarding school in a different state or
college and stuff like that.
So then that's number one. Apply it to all states lah. But number two, which is just sadly doesn't apply to us. Only apply to states who are in phase 2 onwards. They can dine in. They can do sports, non-contact sports and recreational activities. And then they can go and stay within the state, do some traveling within the state, like go and stay in homestay, staycation, hotel, all that lah.
Within the state,
Within the
your
state.
Got nothing, stay at home.
But unfortunately, this is only for phase 2 onwards lah. So, which state is not in phase 2?
The one that's okay. Let's put it very clear that for people who stay in Selangor, KL, those obviously, since your daily cases is memang like 6,000, 8,000, obviously there's not phase 1 lah. Other than that, there's like Putrajaya, there's Kedah, there's Negeri Sembilan, there's Melaka, and also Johor. Those are in phase 1.
Yeah.
While for the one in phase 2 are like Kelantan, Terengganu, Perak, Penang, Pahang, and Sabah. Surprisingly, Sabah in phase 2, I think they have a good vaccination rate. And one in phase 3, my hometown, which is Sarawak, Perlis, and also Labuan. I think Labuan is because it's such a quite a small state, so they can actually achieve that vaccination rate very fast lah. Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you want to say?
Good for y'all in phase 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Hey, but look.
Kita tak ada apa-apa.
How did you all feel when the PM announced this on Sunday?
I feel it's ridiculous. Honestly, my take on this loosened SOP is ridiculous.
I think at first, right, I was like, okay, got a little bit of hope to, dine in a little bit of hope. Then when he mentioned phase 2 onwards, right, then I just rolled my eyes and like, So Klang Valley will never go into that phase 2,
Yeah,
right?
obviously lah.
How
Obviously
many
lah.
cases? We're like every day, right?
Here's an example of rolling the dice. So
Yeah.
the idea is, those who have two dose and then in phase 2. So that means places that are not as populated as
Yeah.
the city, hashtag KL, hashtag Selangor, they of course they will get their freedom. So it's good for them, and at the same time, it's good for their business and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
okay lah. For other states, it's an okay idea. But then it's the bad thing is you takut sometimes people that don't have the 2 dose yet, and then just keluar.
Yeah. Actually to backtrack a bit, I remember when they announced the National Recovery Plan, the whole country will move to phase 2 only when we are below 4,000 case, right?
4,000 case.
And then 10% vaccinated, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So how come suddenly it became like certain states that go into that phase first? Is it
I
because
think-
now?
You know why? Because
Why?
they never reach 4,000.
Yeah.
So it's not whole country 4,000 lah. It's the state 4,000, is it?
Yeah.
Stay 4,000. I guess no. Okay.
I guess
Is Selangor per day got how many cases?
more than
Average
5,000.
6,000-7,000.
Makes
Yeah.
sense lah. Makes sense lah. You see?
I think how the MKN decide to do is that because it's not. I think all the state voice out they're not satisfied with that.
True.
That regulation or that criteria to go to phase 2
it's
because
unfair for them. I guess.
yeah, it's unfair, for them, especially for police. You see, police last time lah, police are that
Last time,
But now-
last year,
Single digit.
single digit, bro. Why?
Yeah.
True lah, true.
What is
Yeah,
police,
so-
bro? What is police?
police is like there's even the meme it has like train to police. A train to police, like people like, take a train to police run away from all these issues, but
But-
that's not the case. Yeah.
But I remember last week, because it always been single digit, right? Then last week suddenly got one day they had 41 cases.
Yeah.
And
Do you
then,
remember?
And then the train to police is like, bro, you turn, bro.
Yeah, no, okay lah. I mean, we don't want to make fun of it, but it's just suddenly,
Yeah.
right? I don't know whether it was the balik kampung thing, but I remember seeing a funny tweet. Someone mentioned, police got 41 cases today. Bukan diorang ada 8 orang jaga. Police. No offense to police residents.
No
It's just a joke.
Yeah, no
It's
fair,
just a
no
joke.
fair. It's a very friendly joke.
But I did read the rough breakdown lah. About half of those 41 cases were like from the prison. So I think prisoners who were transported there. Then the other half were like community cases lah. Actually, even today they were 2 digits, I think. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I think they.
Or was it yesterday?
I think they apparently now. I think police also starting to get 2 digits. Hopefully, they will not go to 3 digits lah. But other states for like sure. So I feel they are getting more and more. Like today, 600 plus. So I'm like, okay. Although they're in phase 3, like this is why I say I feel like it's ridiculous because as a whole, the whole entire country still. Today it's like 20,000 cases. So when you
19,991.
doesn't matter lah. Like on average, it's still around 15 to
20
20.
cases.
If we bulatkan, yalah 20.
15 on average, 15k to 20k, right? And you have the audacity to like, okay, let's loosen up SOP. Hello, bro.
The audacity.
Okay,
mean-
so let's go step by step.
No.
Yeah.
So you see, what I think about police, I've been there for 2 days.
Police again.
During this previous, I would say, okay lah, this past
This year lah, right? I remember this
Yeah,
year.
in May.
Earlier this year.
In May, I went to police. So for like 2 days, I went there to cover some stories and stuff lah. So anyways, when we were there, I think in police itself, they were pretty. How do you say? They juggle their SOP and all that lah. So when we were in town and all that, you can see that it's empty. People walk all really far apart. And
Everybody
then
wear masks.
Everybody wear mask, tapao and everything. There is no, they try to break the rule or what. Most of
They
them
don't
tapao
take their-
sit in the car and then it's like, pakcik ni,
They don't take it for granted lah, even with the zero, like barely any cases, right?
So it's quite safe there lah. So when you see this kind of thing, so it's like no wonder they have like single digit, and then of course at the same time their population is not high.
Yeah,
that is fair to say, but then it doesn't mean that population not high means it doesn't spread. It's because they take their step, so they are allowed to have some sort of leeway lah, boundaries. Give them some good stuff lah when they do good things, right? So it's only fair for them. I mean, I've been to Kedah and all that, but Kedah, I don't want to say the state. We mention later.
Okay, like we don't mention it in that way, lah. Okay,
but okay, but sorry, and
yeah, but in overall, all these locations, it doesn't matter. Like if your state have higher case, you have lower case. It's that SOP must be always applied to either whatever state it is, because it's just I just feel this.
Okay, let's go step by step. Okay, loosening interstate for married couples and parents with young kids. Do you think that's fair?
Yes.
Is it too early?
Yes. Because I'm about to be the letter. Is it
Which
called
one?
The letter?
Former.
The former, which is I will about to be
Marry.
the couple. So I feel that it's only fair, that I go get to meet my other half, because
Your other half in the same state. Cross border lah. Cross border.
Yeah, cross border.
Back then, the same state also cannot go, because different mukim and all that shit. So
Yeah.
So we weren't able to see each other for quite some time. So like, my heart.
Okay, so among all the restrictions that they loosen, interstate travel, that one aside, because that one is just for special cases, right? So for dining in, non-contact sports, they are planning to reopen school in September, and then travel activities like staycation. So among these few that they loosen, right? Do you think it's too early? Even for states that are in phase 2?
I think for me personally, it doesn't matter if the state is in phase 2 ka, phase 3 ka. I think it's still too early as overall cases, because if you look at dine-in, right, it's very risky. In Malaysia, in our culture, mamak culture especially, you don't come to dine-in just to dine-in. You dine-in, after that you confirm lepak punya.
No, not only that. First thing, the Malaysian culture is when we meet people, we still haven't reached the point where we don't salam like this yet. We don't salam like this. Our first instinct is to bro and then go in for the hug.
Yeah.
That's where it's fucked up.
And then in the restaurant,
we're trying to change. We're trying to do fist bumps. Fist bump is a no now. So we do elbow bumps because we rarely use our elbows for anything.
I don't think any fist bump, elbow bump, all that is not necessary at all.
Elbow bump good. If you still want to feel physical contact, you still want to skin, then elbow bump, then straight away sanitize, okay? Straight away.
But that doesn't matter whether got the greeting or the greeting is aside from the greeting. I feel like it's very, very risky because number one reason is the Delta variant is airborne. And you can get infected within 15 seconds in a confined space. And you can imagine all the restaurant that we see is fairly small. Even mamak, except for the corner mamak like that also still considered small.
Corner mamak open air. Cannot.
No, but the thing is, other than the waiters or the chef, right? Everyone is. You're at a restaurant. Why would you wear a mask, right? You have to remove to talk, ma.
Yes.
After you habis makan, also you think you straight away wear back, man. You continue talking until you leave the restaurant.
Then you see bunch of after makan go out and smoke. Vape outside first.
I feel called out.
So
I'm calling out because I've seen this at my area before. It happened before, and then that is dine in lah. Okay, I mean for social activities, I'm gonna call out people. I'm gonna call out the people.
Do it, man.
People who's watching this, right? Look, we're in a phase 1 in Selangor. But I still do see people going jogging, not wearing masks, and then go to the park jogging, bring their children, no wear mask some more.
Yeah.
And the one that I hate the most is those that wearing all the kononnya wear all the sport attire, but you go and tapao from the mama, but you sit all together, chit chat, and then drink and eat over there at the side at the park. Like, what the fuck?
I don't get it. Actually, I also don't get. Jeremy, your area got people go jogging or not?
My area people all unhealthy one. We don't jog. We don't jog. Man. No, serious. Okay, this
Oh
this
my
not
goodness.
play. Okay, this true.
No, even
My
the
area-
park we always go jog last time.
No. Okay, the park. I haven't been to that park in a while because I'm unhealthy. I don't jog. Very simple.
No,
you
but
know.
I don't get it. Okay, I understand that jogging with mask is obviously difficult, right?
Yeah.
But people do realize, right, that the moment you open your mask, you're at risk really. Someone you're jogging,
No,
you're
it's-
like
it's-
breathing in and out, your
it's like
fluids
that.
coming out.
I understand jogging. Okay, nak jog. Okay. Boleh nak jog. Oh, you jogging indoor, you don't have that thing. Never mind, understand.
Indoor.
So you want to jog outside. Okay, you want to jog outside. Never mind. Certain people, they jog outside. They invite kawan-kawan. Oh, neighbors.
Yes.
People
Yes.
taman sebelah. Jom jog sama. Jog
No.
sama-sama, never mind. Jog sama-sama, jog. And then tired already. What they do? They walk. They do what? They talk. They talk.
Chit-chat,
They do what?
yeah.
They don't wear the mask.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't wear the mask.
And then,
and
even
it's
small
like,
families with kids all.
oh yeah, and then bring the dog out, ride the scooter. I've seen it all. Okay, I
What's
just
your opinion about that? Yeah.
I just came back from my job, requires me to go out to shoot. Okay, so I just came back from this place, which is the Prime Minister, the house. So around there, it's a housing area, so there's a lot of people, going jogging at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Mm.
Then these people all jogging, and then suddenly they see us because we very obvious lah. We sitting down there do nothing, just looking at the gate, and then go when you come back. Anyways, so they walk by and they was like, oh look at all these paparazzis. Oh look at them. So they're very very what is called motivated. It's really
Dedicated.
Dedicated. They're dedicated. Just sitting there, just waiting for the prime minister to get back. Then suddenly 4 persons stand there, start talking. And then talk someone near me. Talk beside my car. My window down.
What the fuck?
My window down. I
They
just
will-
sit down there.
they
and
wear
I
mask.
listen to them. Wow, very nice, very nice,
They will wear mask,
I listen. No wear mask. They
This is-
like whoa.
This is why I said this.
What is COVID, babe? Not to say
Are,
that people
are
kaya
they?
or whatever.
Do they
but-
think that they calis COVID?
No, these people when they reach to a certain level because they put up in the house very long. I understand
Yeah.
But then don't let it be an excuse for you to go out and just mingle like there's nothing wrong.
Bro, I tell you, these are the problem that I'm having. I'm having this problem with these people because they are taking advantage of the situation. Okay,
Yeah.
you want to go jogging is fine, but it's very obvious that you're taking advantage of situation because you say you go jogging, but you don't even go jogging. You
Yeah.
go to the park, walk around with your friend, then you meet up your friend, gather. Okay, you put like a certain distance with each other, but you still defeat the purpose. The government said you are allowed to go do a non-contact sport and recreation, meaning to say they allow you to go jogging
Alone.
to go jogging alone, then balik, not to go jogging then meet up. But these people go and take advantage. And what I pity the most is those parents who decide to bring their kids to the taman without wearing a mask some more.
Yeah.
You
Because
are
their
exposing
kids
they
cannot
are
decide.
exposing to the children. They are exposing the children to this, risking their children's situation. Another thing is that, do they know that there is no vaccine yet for 18 and
No,
below?
we have vaccine. Don't have a cure.
No, for kids. For kids.
For kids
Oh,
18
for
and
kids.
below, there are no
Exactly.
vaccines available yet.
Correct.
So it's just it comes to me as like, don't you have certain, what do you call that, rational thinking? Like these people, I understand the situation. We're like, oh, I've been cooped up in the house for so long already. I feel like so depressed. I want to go out. But that doesn't mean that this is the key for you to do that.
Yeah, for me also, there's a park nearby which I usually like to go and jog lah. But I'm really, really just avoiding it as much as possible. Like, because I live with my mom, she's a high risk already, and then both of us are not fully vaccinated yet. Even if you're fully vaccinated, the moment you go out, you don't know the person you run into when you jog, right? You don't know whether that person is vaccinated, that person might be asymptomatic, because now the problem is now, yes, our cases are rising, and yes, they keep saying daily cases majority, right? It's just either no symptom or mild symptom, right?
Yeah.
So it means the vaccine is working, yes, but the problem is the cases are still, it means you're still being infected now. And a lot of these cases, they don't reveal how fast that the category 1 suddenly deteriorate into category 4. So we never know what. Until everyone, because now Malaysia, we are not at 50% fully vaccinated yet. I think we're like about 30%, 40%, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Whole of Malaysia.
Around that. Whole of Malaysia is around that.
But
It's
Klang
only
Valley is
about-
quite high.
About 1 million plus fully vaccinated.
Yeah. So I totally understand people who need to go out for a breather. And I think I'm okay if I see people just along the street, the whole street, only he alone or she alone, right? But there are some people who are so, I don't know how to say lah, okay? They run in front of you, okay? They see you coming. Both don't want to avoid each other. Just run straight into each other. So like that's very inconsiderate, right? You don't avoid people. You don't give way to people.
Maybe what they're thinking is, if I avoid them, it makes it look like, I'm homophobic or, some
Oh my
sort
goodness.
of phobic. And then it's like, maybe I'm racist towards that. Mana tahu that fellow China, one China, and then one Indian, and then the China suddenly move away. Oh,
You
looks
want
racist.
to think. You want to think like that now. Let the person think
Of
lah.
course,
Now,
no, that was just joking. But then,
now, better to be germophobic, right?
yep, it's true.
Yeah, I guess, and then I mean, going on recreation activity, especially because now we are not even in phase 2, we only in phase 1, right? Then people go in jogging, no problem. But I do saw like a bunch of pakcik, memang kena
Oh,
duduk
yes.
rumah,
These uncles.
go and lepak at the nearby the park there, ramai-ramai, but wearing sport attire, kononnya do whatever, but actually go and like gather around and just talk. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, this.
I went out to Mama to buy food. Even though I went out to buy food, I'm very, very scared. And I'm like, taking all the precautionary measures as much as possible. But when I saw all these people do all this, like in my head, like, wah, kau tak takut mati ke? You're not afraid, is it? And then in the end of the day, they'll be like, later when they kena infected or their family kena infected, then you say, COVID is real, guy. Go and make some video. Like, I'm like, hello, bro.
It's been real for 2 years already.
It's been real for 2 years. Now when you kena, only when you do video of COVID is real, guys. Pray for me, pray for my family. Hello, I'm not being heartless,
Yes,
whatever.
understand.
But if
some
you're the
people
kind
are
of
like
person,
that.
if you're the kind of people who you brought this upon yourself,
Don't make a video and talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't make a video and pray for
don't
me.
even bother to make a video, pray for me, COVID is real, whatever. Don't. If you're one of those people who actually does that, like, please keep it to yourself. Because at the end of the day, when people ask how you kena, I went to this one. I met this one. I met why? The question is, why do you even do that? Do you know that you're not supposed to do that? It's just a.
Jeremy, which restriction do you think is actually okay to loosen now? What do you think about this whole loosening actually?
The most important thing is, please let me play badminton.
Non-contact, right, is considered.
Please. Because I cannot brain already. I don't exercise. I at home, not to say I cannot exercise at home. I don't want. I want to play badminton, that's all.
You haven't played for how long already?
As long as the MCO start, I never play already. I very sad.
Which
I
MCO?
very sad. This recent one. This recent one until now.
Means May, May is it?
Is it May? It's like April.
Yeah, April.
Before
remember it
Chinese
was-
New Year. what? Chinese
Before
New Year.
Yeah,
You
somewhere.
haven't been playing since before Chinese New
Yeah.
Year?
Chinese New Year already cannot play. What?
That's a long one.
So it's like around 6 months, half a year never exercise. You see the fat all come out, and then you feel like you can do the belly dance like that. Nah, I mean, but in all seriousness, having some restrictions lifted for those what do you call it, places, businesses lah. Businesses also lah. Businesses for them is good. One thing is because nowadays people who don't get to work and people who don't have money because they cannot work and their company is closing down and all that stuff. That's just the saddest thing to hear. Okay,
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
Yeah.
not everybody is as privileged. I'm considered very good lah. Fortunate. I still have
Yeah.
a job.
Yeah.
I still can pay my bills. That's enough for me. But then other people, they have like 4 mouths to me to feed. 5 mouths, 3, 2, whatever.
Yeah.
They once they lose this income during MCO or whatever, that's the end for them. Even if they'll start to look for other source of income, do Grab and all that stuff. They still, it's not enough to cover like 2 or 3 mouths.
Yeah.
So it's just sad lah. I mean, I've seen a lot of cases, a lot of people who've been homeless because of this. So I just hope that the economy thing lah. Don't just let, what do you call it, the manufacturing. Because manufacturing, too many people stuck together in a long hours.
Shift
Yeah.
hours.
And then
Yeah.
all these other things, you should at least let them go back to work or find some sort of income. Don't restrict them lah.
Yeah.
I
bad
think
for
I
the
think
economy in general.
Malaysian businesses, because we're so we take pride in our food, right? So our food business has been booming for the longest time. So when it comes to like, okay, yes, food businesses can operate, but then when there's no dining in, it affects their businesses a lot, right?
Especially
How often people want to order food delivery? Even though kopitiam also you have to go and tapao. People also scared to go.
Put it simply lah. If because those even hawker stores right now, they have limited amount of hawkers. Because like previously maybe they have like 10, 15 hawkers all in one corner shop. Now it's like 2, 3, 5. Even 5 is considered a lot lah. But they have lah, and then they have to like border up, give space and 1 meter and all that stuff. It become limited lor, and then people you don't have as much hawkers as you used to, and then if you don't have hawkers, then they don't work, then they
But
Yeah, I think for businesses, it's like there are certain things. It depends on the business as well. I mean, depends on the people who does the business. They should, if they were been given like the decision is lifted, they can operate. They should have that responsibility to ensure that all their business is following the SOP as much as possible. You can't wait for the government or any agency come and check on you, then you follow it. Then that will lead to another spike. I mean, if you are going to want to be able to sustain your business, you also need to you need to put 100% focus on making sure that your business actually follows all this SOP and try to avoid as much as possible. But I know sometimes it's unavoidable, not because of the business, but it's because of the customer that's coming in. Some customers are pure idiot lah.
Stubborn.
Stubborn and idiot.
But I did read because Penang is now in phase 2, right? Means they can open for dine-in and recreational stuff and all that. But I read, I think yesterday or today, a lot of restaurants there are not comfortable to open for dine-in yet. They will not accept because a lot of them have like maybe staff who are foreign workers or what, right? And a lot of them, their staff is not vaccinated yet.
Yeah.
So they're not worried about the business, but they're more worried about their staff, you know. Like people come, then if their staff kena, and then spread to other staff, and then after that backfire back to the customer, then have to close, so it will backfire again. So I think these Penang restaurant owners are trying to take extra precaution lah. So okay, and then if I ask you guys, right, if KL and Selangor suddenly they say open dining in, you can dine in maybe like 2 per table maximum. Would you go out and eat?
It depends lah.
Depends on what.
It depends if I want to eat sushi or not. Oh, and one more thing. Okay, you imagine this lah. Okay, during FCO, obviously you would have certain cravings that you have since like half a year ago. So,
yes, my sushi.
Timbut.
People who love buffet, who love hot pot, I tell you, they die. Especially people like people who the people who run the buffet. Hey, if they do buffet and then they only do takeaway, how you want to do that buffet?
Oh my gosh, Sukiya, I hope it's still open.
How to jalan?
Sukiya.
Wait,
I
I really miss Sukiya. I need to go back for some more meat.
I think one of the more dangerous, I would say, riskier types of food businesses would be hot pot, I guess.
Yeah, because you have to go.
Everybody's sharing
and then take yourself.
Everybody's sharing soup all.
I mean the proper idea would be, if you want something, you have to ask the fella to take for you.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the other precaution you can take. But other than that, please let my hot pot business open again. Please let me see how.
I guess if you ask me, right, I wouldn't go even if they loosen loosen the dine in 2 person per table 4 person, depend on the size table. I wouldn't go if I have to, unless if I have to, because come to think of it, like going back to my point earlier, it's like when you go dine in or outside, when you go dine in with your friend, the purpose for you to dine in with your friend, not just because of you want to eat, you want that human interaction, you want to have conversation with your friend, catch up and whatnot. So, but then that defeats the purpose. I think the dine-in should only be applied to those who would need to go to dine-in. For example, if you go to work and your work is far away from your home, right, and there's no other ways for you to eat, your office does not allow you to eat inside the office, then you have to dine in or you have to dine at another restaurant. Then that would be probable it will be okay for you to dine in to do that. But if possible, if you can tapao and just eat in your office instead, just do that, because you never know, you got two dose vaccination also, you can kena COVID and you can die on. It doesn't give you any securities anyway. So why risk yourself to do that?
No, I think the point of getting vaccinated is you won't die if you get full dose.
Lesser symptoms.
It's less severe, less for example, in the US, yes, there are cases. Actually, I checked today, right? The US, they are back to 100,000 daily cases, daily. Yeah. So the 95 to 97% of their ICU hospitalization cases are all unvaccinated people. So vaccines work. Yes, you will get infected, but your severity is much, much lower. But we were talking about, earlier when we first started, we were talking about vaccinated second dose 14 days after your second dose. That's considered fully vaccinated. If you get only 1 dose or you baru got your second dose, you're not considered protected yet. So we are always advised to even after first dose and second dose, stay at home at least for 1 week. 1 week to 14 days.
If you took those Johnson & Johnson, those single dose one, you need to wait 21 days.
21 days. Yeah.
But this
so they just introduced
Malaysia. Not yet.
Just only. Not yet.
Not yet.
So you have to finish up the old batch first. Then only they start moving out the new batch.
Yeah. I guess for dine-in is just that you need for me, you need to be able to think by yourself. Is it necessary? Do you have to? That's it. It's up to you lah. It's up to you. Are you willing to take the risk to do that? You know, there's personal preference and personal choice lah.
I think what I'm actually concerned about is reopening schools. If their decision is still to reopen in September, right? Okay, maybe for the young kids, because they've all they got vaccinated when they were babies, and then they have the natural immunity to a certain extent, right? Maybe they're safe, but still, a lot of kids get infected in schools, because kids are kids lah. How are you gonna tell a kid to stay away from their friends, right? What social distancing can you force on the kids?
You have to. You want to go and play tag. You want to push people all that. If you don't let them do all that, why go back to school? One of my friends, she has one kid who is 7, one is 5. So both of them are doing online classes now lah. So the one who is 7, standard 1 this year but totally robbed of the chance to go to school, right? Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, it's him lah. So she posted one morning, one of the schools, or was it another? Actually, I can't remember which. I got a lot of friends who have young kids but anyway, the teacher was reading to them a story about, I think this story, a lot of children play together lah. So then at the end of the lesson, then the teacher asked them, so what do you learn from this story? Then the kids, all of them said, we don't know because we haven't been seeing our friends. So they don't know they cannot relate to the story. It's so sad, right? These are kids, kids, not even kindergarten kids can say that.
I have to say, I feel for them lah. I mean, it is true. It's a different world totally for them to have to go through all this online learning and not being able to meet their peers of their same age one. It's very sad. Even my nephew, you give him a laptop and then sit in front of it just to learn language and all that. He'll just be there and go
cannot,
no soul inside.
We can't even stare at the laptop at this for consecutively.
I mean, I can lah, because I stare at the screen just to play games. So I was
if you're playing games, you're studying, looking at a bunch of words or what.
But not being able to. It's not just us lah. It's not just us, not just kids. It's people who have been for their whole lives. They meet people, they socialize, they happy, and then suddenly they cannot feel their friends how I cannot feel my podcast partners. I'm very sad.
I guess for opening the school, right, I have a mixed feeling regarding this. Number one is because the most important thing is that there are no vaccination available or that's certified for kids age 18 or especially 12 and below. Number two is that it's just that some area or some state might not have too much of a higher case, but you cannot take it for granted. Like you guys said, kids, you cannot stop them from interacting with each other or playing around. So how do you want to implement those SOPs and regulation in school? It's very difficult. So the reason why I have mixed feeling, I feel the pain that online studying and whatever, but for a greater good, to ensure the safety of the children, our next generation, it is best to do this to keep them at home for their safety. Of course, they will have to endure all this until there are a vaccine available for kids below 18 or 12. Then maybe there are certain regulation by the Ministry of Education or Ministry of Health they can implement just for schools only. Because if not, they will forever be learning from home. The thing is that it is
until
not
the end of time, right?
That's very sad.
It's not effective at all because kids cannot be put in front of the TV or even on the laptop to study. You can put them there to play game or to watch game, but to study, even us, when you go to online classes, I tell you, you also aduh, buat benda lain lah, it's very difficult lah. It's just that I have a very mixed feeling lah, because when I read from all the news before, I feel like aduh, tak boleh lah. You want to open, because we once open school before this we open school, and there's a spike.
Yeah. There was even before the Delta variant.
Yeah,
we
there
kept
was even
hearing small
before.
clusters here and there.
Yeah, can you imagine with the Delta variant? Lagi lah contagious. Although like the children might not be the carrier, but the teacher, the security guard, there's so many people you need to consider. In school, there are so many people. You have the cleaner, you have the teacher, you have the security guard, you have the parents that coming over and dropping the children off somewhere.
And then now got Delta Plus lah, Labamba lah, Lambda.
Lambreda.
Not Labamba. Not Labamba.
That's all I think about. Okay, so I guess we all like collectively agree that it's a bit too early, but at the same time, there is no other choice. Otherwise, more people will die not from COVID, but from losing their livelihood, right?
Yep.
So moving forward, then what can we focus on to plan our next step? Because right now, okay, just a little bit of background. Right now, every decision made by the government, all this MCO, SOP, all right, is all based purely on daily cases, right? We look at the daily cases that's blown up, 20K, 50K, 100K, whatever, right? But what is very, very important is actually the number of daily death, the number of ICU beds available.
Yeah.
So even, okay, touch wood lah, we come to a point where we have to continue living with COVID. We have to continue bearing 20,000 cases a day. But if the ICU numbers remain very low and death rates remain very low, which is what is happening in UK and US, I think, then we can really open up more, right? But we continue implementing masks, we continue social distancing, but we can just consider it endemic, means the virus is within us already.
Yeah.
But we have some sort of protection towards it, that our healthcare won't collapse lah. So that's the next step, right? But right now, our cases are still high, ICU beds also not available, death rates also crazy high. And then apparently, I didn't know this until actually, sadly, last week, somebody from my church passed away. His uncle passed away. He had COVID, I think, about a month ago already. And apparently, if somebody passed away more than 15 days after they are diagnosed with COVID, their death will not be counted in the statistic, Because there are cases where they recover and then suddenly deteriorate again, or it just passed the 14, 15 days because you're technically supposed to recover within 14 days, and the virus is supposed to leave your body already, which it did. So like this uncle who passed away, he's no longer COVID positive already, but the side effects, post-COVID complications, they call it, is really bad. So it affected his lungs and then he passed away. So even so, I read this article and a lot of our death rates. Can you imagine how many people who actually died because of COVID, but it's not counted in the statistics because it was way past the date already? So our statistics is actually not very transparent in that sense. And then when you look at ICU numbers, right, all those who are at home waiting for up to 7 days for ambulance to come, all those who are stuck in the emergency ward, all these are not counted, in ICU. So there could be way more. So moving forward, I also don't know how it should. What do you think?
I think like based on that one doctor who worked for WHO, she did mention that if Malaysia were to open, to loosen to open everything to loosen everything, 100% it will be very premature. Like you said just now, our ICU punya state, how in the state of the ICU, is it very clouded and everything is very difficult to determine. And then those numbers that we see also it's like it's hard to really say like it's accurate, it's also not accurate, tak juga, because it's 14 days mah. All these records are like based on a previous a few days record. It's not like today punya case kita letak today punya case.
Yeah.
Very
It's a bit
difficult.
backdated, right? Our
It's a bit
numbers.
backdated. It's a bit backdated, because one of the doctors also mentioned it's a backdated. The data will come in because the problem with our system is manual. It's not automated system. There's no automated system of to count whatever. It's manually somebody gather information and key in the data. There's no such thing as key like that. There's no such thing. So I think moving forward, like what needs to be decided is like a better way to determine like which category to which category is from what date to what date, and then also a more transparent situation on our ICU situation, on our ICU bed in Malaysia in hospital, because those are where it's very important. I think another one that should be mentioned is a person from category 2 jumping into category 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Within how long or how fast should be stated.
Yep.
Like how fast can you go from an average timing of from 2 can get worsened to 4 or 5, and why? Those are the things that should be mentioned lah. If not, you will never know that, because they on a daily basis we see category 1 to 5. They say like get most of it like asymptomatic category 1, but it can immediately like go to 5 die. But we don't know.
And then now they also stopped sharing the breakdown of demographic for those who passed away. Last time they did share age, ma. Now I don't think got age group really.
I think
they just break it down to male and female.
There's just too many cases, and they don't have enough people to cater to all this. They already put the manpower to cater to handling vaccination, handling ICU. Even now that our Dr. Hartal case, the contact doctor, also tak settled until now, then you probably arise again. The issue will probably come again lah.
Okay, Jeremy, like Klang Valley will reach herd immunity in 10 days, 21st August. So meaning by then, because now Klang Valley we are doing this Operation Surge Capacity, right? Like vaccinating everyone by end of this month.
Yeah.
So do you think like if the whole population of Klang Valley, let's say 80 to 90% vaccinated, fully vaccinated, do you think that's enough for us to loosen us up from phase 1 to phase 2?
I mean, but if it reach 80 to 90%, of course it's already, I would say, enough. You can loosen. I mean, especially the part where people can go back to work, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
If we reach 80 to 90%, and then after like fully, like we're talking about past 14 days and all that, then by all means, I mean, like, let them go back out to work, because as long as there is still a chance where you get COVID, right?
Yeah.
So even if you get COVID, as long as it's not severe enough for you to crowd the ICU, I mean, okay, I don't want to, there's no better way to sugarcoat this.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people is going to get COVID. I don't want to say like, oh no, you getting COVID, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But
we have to live with that, right?
Yeah, it's pretty unavoidable, There will come a day where everyone is going to get COVID.
It's going to be like
as long as you vaccinated twice or once, if you Johnson & Johnson's and some other crap, then at least if you get the COVID, you don't die. You don't die. You can still provide for your family. Life can still go on. You just become like a common flu. Like
no, it'll be like
Americans
TB.
said it already. The Americans said it. They were right all along.
Not really.
I think it will be something like those TB, tuberculosis, something where somebody they will have to be quarantined or isolated, like individually,
like
because
SARS,
but that is those are very far-fetched, very wild, assumption lah, just a wild assumption lah. It's just that I feel like, I mean, if we're gonna reach like herd immunity in 25th September in Klang Valley, estimated lah 25th September, reach up to 80%, example. I guess okay lah. Let's open it for all those economic sector, but we still need to implement all the SOP. Need to follow everything. If not like you said, if not like eventually everybody will kena one. Eventually everybody will kena. It's just that like Jess also said that you want to get the point of getting vaccinated is so that you will not have severe
symptoms.
Severe symptom from COVID. So as long as everybody vaccinated, get to work, then you don't get severe, and then you won't get hospitalized. Because if you don't get severe, you won't get to be quarantined in a hospital. You just need to quarantine at home.
You don't need to enter the ICU. You don't crowd the ICU. Like just talked about the London case. See, as long as they don't crowd the ICU, you know. I don't know lah. Maybe there is a lot of anti-vaxxers out there. Maybe not. I don't know. Don't have the data. Can't tell. So let's just hopefully everybody get vaccinated. Okay.
Yeah.
Get vaccinated.
As long as our doctor, we keep hearing this. Our doctors have to choose who they want to help, who they want to resuscitate. Right? It's actually real. It's not just happening in Indonesia and India. It's happening in Malaysia.
It's very real.
Jeremy saw it.
I was in the ICU covering all that stuff. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's things like they happen because we didn't get the vaccine fast enough. We didn't implement it. We didn't roll it out fast enough.
Yeah.
So until today, even today, there's still a lot of ICU cases because those that didn't get vaccine, those that still didn't go through SOP properly, die want to go out and jog without mask, or even if you get 2 doses already, wait until people say can do, wait until your friends also get everything, then only go jog or whatever. Don't just because I got 2 doses already, 14 days, blah blah blah, the government already said this, you're still in phase 1. Just chill your ass.
I mean the key point is don't be selfish lah.
Don't be selfish.
The ICU, the doctors, all them kesian. They went in. There is so many people who needs these things, and then they have to really see, these people still have enough oxygen. They can still tahan lah. They look like they're gonna get better lah. So all these others that look like they're really in bad condition and all that. And like, if it's overly bad, it does sound cruel lah to just say, I mean, really cannot help already this one. So that one really no choice. That one, too bad. They have to give it to those that have the higher probability
to live,
surviving, of getting better. Because if you just
I cannot imagine. Okay, for those who think that COVID is just the flu, right? Just put yourself in one of these doctors' shoe, right? They came into this line to save a life, literally. But they have come to a point when they have to choose who they let die.
No,
can you imagine how that feels?
They will never be in the doctor's shoes because if
They're
they say
selfish.
if they say it's just a flu, it's probably because they dumb. So if they dumb, the easiest way to make them understand is to take an intubator and then shove it down their throat. Then they understand the pain, because you have to have the intubator in you 24 hours. As long as you don't have oxygen, that shit's gonna be in you. That's how bad it is. And that's
we don't wish those anti-vaxxers to kena COVID.
We don't wish it, but we wish that
we want you to wake up.
Understand.
They understand.
Understand that
this COVID is real.
Do you think Malaysia will introduce a third dose, booster dose?
Is it legalized by WHO or not?
Is it?
Has WHO said yes, booster dose is okay?
I'm not sure, but I do know Sarawak Sarawak apparently cannot wait for PIC for the program imunisasi kerajaan, so they are referring to their own vaccination
process.
Vaccination we call it agency to go and check with the WHO to get vaccination for third dose and also for children under 18. So apparently because Sarawak is ahead of the rest of the state apparently, so they want to speed up all the process, but they are going, finding out this thing by themselves lah. So I'm not too sure whether the third boost is available.
So okay. So if third booster vaccine is correct lah. Memang ada
booster vaccine.
Ada. But they haven't. I can't remember. I need to check on this. I'm not sure whether US has started already. But I know that some countries are mixing vaccine. That one, even though WHO didn't 100% say they should do it, but I think some scientists say okay. So like, if I'm not mistaken, Thailand did it, and
So like
some European countries also did it.
One AZ, one Sinovac.
Yeah, I think they are
different vaccines.
No. I think when they say mixing, mean to say that not all vaccines are to be mixed randomly, but maybe some certain, like for example, Sinovac and Pfizer can be mixed, AZ and another one can be mixed. This one and
just example lah,
example lah. The mix is I think because the shortage of vaccine or like not enough vaccine for certain type of vaccine, so those countries decide to, if it's okay, then they just do long. Like for our Malaysian government, our Malaysian vaccine punya agency decide not to do so lah. But I think the third booster for me is actually depends on the cases nowadays. If the Delta plus or Delta or like the 2 dose does not work, does not
cover it.
Can't cover it and is required that we take a third boost, I think it should lah. Malaysia should implement lah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because the virus, the number of cases around the world is still crazily high, right?
Yeah.
So as long as there is a good number of people infected, the virus will continue to mutate. We just have to face it. We have to vaccine faster than the virus mutates, because the virus will only mutate when it has a host, meaning when it's inside us. So as long as somebody is infected, there is a chance for it to mutate. So it's a matter of like really chasing it lah.
I just hope it doesn't mutate into zombie lah.
Worst case scenario.
Okay, so do you think, in terms of Malaysia, like I know Australia has just announced their lockdown number 7, like the state of Victoria, because they call it snap lockdown. The minute they have like 2-digit cases, they have snap lockdown, right? But Malaysia, right, I feel it's quite not practical for us to, because in terms of Australia, I know that like state of Victoria, where Melbourne is at, it's like really strict lockdown for 7 days. But in New South Wales, where Sydney is at, they are actually under lockdown, But if you go and Google pictures of Sydney today, people can't be bothered. They're like at the beach, walking, crowding around,
they don't
without
even
masks.
care.
It's crazy because I think they're kind of sick of it in that sense. But
people around the world, not just us, we're all facing the same thing.
So if Malaysia, do you think extended full lockdowns will help with our cases? Like if we U-turn, right, then like MCO 1.0 until December, do you think it's going to help?
No
for
vaccine,
me lah.
No vaccine, tak payah cerita.
With vaccine now lah.
If 80%, or 90%, more better is the higher number lah. So if everybody is vaccinated, and then open lah.
Yeah, I think for me it's like, extended lockdown won't really help lah. What would really help is like speeding up the vaccination process is the only possible solution. According to WHO, also saying that herd immunity you can like throw it out the window, or like zero case you can throw it out the window already. Now it's a race against mutation.
Yeah.
The race against COVID mutation. So
Yeah.
the faster everybody get vaccinated, the easier it is. And especially for Malaysia, we want to get everybody vaccinated as much as possible. The main point is to lessen the ICU cases and also all the cases that requires, oxygen support, the category 3 to 5 lah. So I think that is the best way compare to another lockdown. Because if you do another lockdown, number one, the country, the government do not have money at all to cover for everything anymore. Number two, the people will burn out of their financial saving, burn out, and also mentally burn out already, and people will go crazy. Then you will see a riot coming up. People don't want to be, and then Malaysia will become like, for example, like you said in Sydney, couldn't be bothered to follow the SOP anymore, and then that will turn out to become a far more worse situation, no?
But their cases now, they're at 300 plus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so
if
still
you imagine,
manageable lah.
can you imagine Malaysia Malaysia as a country, everybody decide to follow that, don't want to follow SOP, whatever. Can you imagine?
It'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy lah.
Yeah.
I mean, we Asians actually quite scared die lah. To be honest lah, we takut mati kan.
Yeah.
Malaysian.
People takut mati we won't really, even if we open up, we will take our own precaution. That's how we, Asians are. We are very, collective community kind of thing. We don't simply just let's just go do whatever. We're not that kind of Westerners.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there are some.
Some lah.
I mean, there are some who has been, study overseas, and then it's like, this vaccine is not going to help us.
Yeah, there's even one fella who actually said the COVID is not real.
Ada je.
Yeah.
Ada.
Sure got
Then
one.
kena tangkap. Pada muka.
I mean, COVID, whether it's real or not, to them, just get vaccine lah. But then if they, COVID is not real, don't get the vaccine. Got, internet, you cocok the internet, you got 5G, bro.
5G bro, 5G.
Yeah. Actually, I'm waiting to try like whether my body will really be magnetic or not.
You Sinovac?
But apparently,
Sinovac.
only Sinovac, man.
Yeah, apparently it's only Sinovac.
Is it?
Yeah.
But I know it has to be after the second dose. No, I'm not Sinovac.
Oh, conspiracy theory then. Maybe the China one, they put chip.
They put magnet
to-
in the body.
Yes, they put chip in
Sure.
the body so they can detect everybody activity.
So and then one day you see the China one they when you all stand together, you all magnet and they stick together. They build a great wall of China.
They got
wall.
They got button press. Ta 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 ta.
Because we've been social distancing for so long, right? Now everybody just stick together, is it?
It's like press a button.
Opposite.
Sinovac activate. Chom, chum, 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 chum.
You guys watching too much anime already. Okay, Jeremy. So on a lighter note, we end on a lighter note. Your wedding still happening or not? Still going to plan?
How
not?
is this lighter?
Why?
Lighter. You're giving
Why?
me
No, okay, look. This is.
But seriously, I really don't know what's the SOP for weddings.
Apparently, you can do wedding, but not majlis. You can go and register a wedding.
You can register,
but no
you can do
majlis
virtual,
lah.
right?
No majlis.
Yeah.
Then yours,
majlis.
you can go do temple. Is it?
Temple also no open now to do.
So cannot. So just ROM lah.
How you ROM temple no open?
You ROM at temple.
Paling lebih, you go JPN, you tell them, okay, we want this, okay, you can take this cert. It's valid for 6 months or something. So by in that 6 months, you have to go to a temple to get it, do the other thing.
Oh, so you're going to do
in
that
6
lah.
months, you don't do that, then the thing not verified, then you have to go and do again.
So you're going to do that lah.
Point is, as long as I'm not in phase 2, I'm just gonna we're gonna try. I mean, not try lah. We're gonna do the Chinese culture thing where we know you yamcha. That's it lah. But then at the same time, everybody wear face shield, mask all, yamcha, and then give ang pao. Stand far, get spray first.
Well, hopefully lah, fingers crossed by then, phase 2 already. But they really didn't say anything. Actually, that day announcement, they didn't say anything about weddings also.
I mean, that's not on their priority lah.
Yeah, and I think one more they did mention is like bubbles. I think that one very important.
Yeah, so a lot of bubbles.
You say this too long hair.
I mean, I feel like I'm going back to
long
hair length
when we first started.
So I don't mind actually.
Join me, bro. Join me again.
Yeah, man. Then we'll be like the two long hair dudes on a
Wasabi pancake.
podcast.
What's up?
Yeah,
The return.
Okay. So so we hope that we will of course we hope that the SOPs continue to slowly be loosened for people who need to earn money. But I really hope that these people really take precaution, take responsibility. Restaurant owners really take responsibility to check everybody's digital certificate. And I heard that there are scams now out there, or like, what do you call that? Like people are selling fake digital certificate for those who don't want to get vaccinated and they're just buying it. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. It'll just come and bite you in the ass one day. Please don't do that.
Not only going to bite him, it's going to bite the whole country in the ass.
Yeah, for something that is free, you're getting vaccine for free. You're going to buy a fake cert for 200 ringgit for what?
Sometimes that's the thing lah. I don't understand humans They die, don't believe anti-vaxxer.
Please get vaccinated, not to just to protect yourself, but to protect the people around you. No matter how selfish you are, right? There will be somebody you care for. So think about that person and protect that person by getting vaccinated.
Yeah, I guess the main thing here is doesn't matter what is the SOP going to be, what is the regulation going to be. Is it going to be loosened or is it going to be stricter or whatever? No matter what is the government going to let loose, like whatever restriction, just remember one thing: do not take things for granted.
Yeah, don't take advantage.
The main thing: do not take things for granted. Do not take advantage of the situation. Do what you only need to do. Do what you must do, necessarily need to do. If there are something that you can avoid that's not important, then don't do, because in a way that when you're doing that, when you put that into your consideration, you are trying to help the system, our health system. You're trying to help your family, your friend, everybody to stay safe.
Because you have to think about those, those who really abide by the SOP. Stay at home, don't go out, only go and get grocery, come back. Those people abide SOP, still stuck at home. These people, don't need go out jogging. Kena COVID.
I guess that's the piece of advice from all three of us to anyone who's watching this. So I will take our takeaways. We hope you listen to our takeaway. You have your own opinion as well. Like ours is just hotcakes.
This is a hot cake.
This is our hot cake.
Yes,
our first hot cake.
Yeah.
We hope we didn't burn anyone.
Hope didn't burn anyone.
So understand, we are not out to attack all joggers. It's just those that don't wear masks.
You know who you are.
Those that go ajak kawan-kawan. Those like who you are lah. Like Jessica said.
Those who take advantage lah. Basically, those who take advantage of the current situation of the SOP and all that lah. That's it. Okay. So that's it for today's episode.
A bit heavy, but we have to talk about it.
Of course, this is a hot cake. If you have any you don't agree with us or anything, write in the comment. Debate like.
Yes. Remember to comment any opinion, any ideas, any recommendation. Just do comment in our Instagram and our YouTube. Anywhere lah. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Yeah. Okay, and that's it for me, Anif.
This is Jeremy.
This is Jessica.
Okay.
Signing out. And remember, guys, talk about it.
Hi. Bye.
Bye.